What's up YouTube, it's Accurate. I realized it's been more than a year since the last time I did a video on my beatmaking setup. So today I'm gonna give you guys a quick little tour on my home studio, or whatever you want to call it. A lot of you guys, my viewers and subscribers, seems to be very interested in the gear and the technology that I use to make my music. So let's just do a quick little tour here and let's talk about the stuff I have. First of all, let's take a look at my mixer. This is the DJ Tech DIF-1S, a standard 2-channel DJ mixer with a separate microphone input. The line-ins on this one is switchable between phono and line levels, so I have the OP1, the turntable, the drum machine and sometimes an iPad that I can send straight to machine from this mixer. This is what I use for all my sampling needs. The crossfader is a mini innovator, which also makes this really good for scratching as well. Talking about scratching and sampling, let's go over to my turntable. This is a Technics 1210 MK3. Pretty much the industry standard for anyone who's doing turntablism or DJing on turntables in general. And when it comes to the needle on my turntable, I always go for this one, the Shure M447. Next up is the device I mainly use to make my beats. This is Native Instruments Maschine MK or Mark III. This now has an integrated audio interface, which makes sampling a lot easier than before. I connect all my inputs and outputs directly to and from Maschine. Maschine is mainly a controller for the Maschine software that's running on my Mac. I do everything from sampling and chopping my samples to sequencing beats, adding VST effects and instruments, to arranging and mixing my tracks inside the Maschine software, just using the hardware controller. I also have this one, the Drum Brute from Arturia. This is an analog drum synthesizer with 17 different sounds. It has a nice punch to the drum sounds and you can really feel the analogness of it. All of the sounds are editable using the dedicated knobs, and it also has a pretty great sequencer inside of it. Traditional step sequencing works great, but it also allows for manual real-time recording on the pads. It has separate outputs for the different sounds, and it's now hooked up to my machine using MIDI. The different swing and randomness functions really adds to the fun of using this one. Now on to the OP1 from Teenage Engineering. This is a small and standalone battery-driven device that has a built-in sampler, a bunch of small sequencer modes, 11 different synth engines, a bunch of cool effects, a radio receiver, a 4-track tape recorder, and a built-in speaker. I've made a lot of videos here on my YouTube channel about this machine, and it's really a nice addition to a home studio like mine. The OP1 is usually what I go to when I'm stuck in the process and really need a new twist on things. It's very hands-on and the workflow fits me perfectly. It's really not a device for everyone, but definitely one of my favorite pieces of equipment. Now to the Arturia Keystep. This is pretty much the perfect MIDI keyboard for me. It fits right on my desktop and is easily accessible from my sitting position. I've always been a big fan of mini keys, and these are just the right size for me. It has 32 keys, a great set of outputs for connecting to external devices, as well as an arpeggiator and a cool little sequencing mode. It connects to my computer through USB and can be used together with Maschine right off the bat. My computer is nothing special at all. I use a 13-inch Macbook Pro from late 2013. It has a 2.4 GHz i5 processor, 8 GB of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. I make all my music and all my video editing on this computer and it works just fine. Over here is my stash of MIDI keyboards that I no longer use on a daily basis. I think I'll put up a stand for my Keylab 61 Essentials, so I always have a full-size keypad at hand. Right now, both that one and my Minilab MK2 are living over here and gets connected from time to time depending on the project. As far as my studio monitor goes, this is where I really need to take stuff up a bit soon. These are my Alesis 520 M1 active speakers. I've had these ones for years and I've actually never really liked them. But since I also have a family and I normally work with headphones, these speakers kinda gets the job done anyway when I really need them. Now this is my Tandberg Series 15 2-track tape recorder. It's fully functional and I use it sometimes to record stuff onto tape, just to record it back to the computer to make the audio a bit more dirty. I haven't used it in a while, but I kind of also like how it looks on my desktop. My Technics RS6200 USD cassette deck is ready to be connected at any time I want samples from Cassette or listen to any of the tapes me and my crew has released. It has a nice crunchy sound to it, but I can't say that I use it a lot. And since I'm mainly a sample-based hip-hop producer, I also need to have a couple of records in my home studio. I've actually created affiliate links on Amazon and Thomann for most of the products I mentioned in this video. If you use that link for a purchase, you'll still pay the normal price for the product, but I'll also get a small share of the bonus for pointing you to it. All the links can be found in the description below. And as always, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, so please thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment if you feel like it. And yeah, that's it for this one. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye now.